All right, hi guys. Thanks for talking to me today and to Blaze Radio. Um, in 5 words, how would you describe the Basements?
So we would describe the Basements as energetic, as bold,
but also like relaxing or like
Relaxed,
Ooh, okay.
um,
groovy. We're very
Groovy.
groovy.
Yeah.
I love that word.
and unapologetic.
Okay. I like it. I like it. You guys are an incredible local band from Tucson, Arizona. You guys even have a song called Tucson. So I wanted to ask, like, what do you think some pros and cons are of creating and performing music in Tucson?
So definitely the Tucson's awesome because of a few reasons. The main pro that we could think of is that it's a smaller community compared to other music scenes. So it was really like a good sense of community. We feel like everyone that we play with, we like get to know really well. We've in the year that we've been really year and a half that we've been playing together, we've come into our own and like met a ton of people that like are some of our best friends just through this scene. And then I would say like along with that though, there's obviously the con that Tucson's smaller than other places. So you're not going to get as good of a reach. Like your audience base, potential audience is smaller than it could be in bigger cities like Phoenix. But then also along with that, since Tucson is so close to big cities in California and Phoenix, we have the opportunity to kind of get the best of both worlds with that.
You can make a little trip. I love it. Your most recent project, Long Stories Get Short, dropped earlier this year, I think in May. What were the inspirations behind both the title and artwork of the EP? Because it's a lot of aliens.
So the inspiration of the aliens, the artwork came from my sister. She's an artist, and originally when we were just starting, we are having our first show, and we were like, okay, well, we need shirts, obviously. I was like, we had our like logo of the stick people walking on the stairs, but then we needed something for the back of the shirt. So I hit my sister up. I was like, hey, can you draw like some aliens? And then that just kind of stuck, and we really liked it. Like it's cool, like extraterrestrial kind of theme.
It's a far out concept.
Yeah.
Far out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of being in like the middle of a desert, like UFO, just stranded.
Yeah,
Good vibes.
I'll have Amanda like text you the picture, but the original idea is based off this Johnny Cash poster of him walking in the desert with like a guitar on his back that Dylan found.
Yeah.
And so then like we kind of took that idea and put the alien aspect into it. So he's like kind of on this desert like planet.
Speaking of walking around the desert, one of my favorite songs from the new EP is Walk Around. So how would you describe that song and what it personally means to you?
Yeah, so I wrote the words to that, and it's pretty much about it's like a breakup song. It's about being in like a relationship that isn't really working out for you anymore, and the idea is you want to like get out and like I walk around. The lyric is like walk around this life, but it's meant to be more of a positive thing because most like breakup songs are like not happy, but it's more of like but also not like a good riddance kind of song. It's just more of like a now see the bright side, like you have like all these new opportunities now that you can kind of do whatever you want.
Well, one of the opportunities you got was that you won the Dust 2021 Battle of the Bands competition. Congratulations. Other than winning, what were some favorite memories you have from competing?
Meeting Noah Martin.
We
Cool.
met a lot of different bands through it, and also like just connections. Like it was kind of like when we kind of broke into the Tucson music scene in a way, because like we were meeting all these other bands that play and like that already were like a part of the scene, and then we were also meeting like people from like venues and like that have other connections. So it was like a really big deal to like finally get our foot like in the door through that. And yeah, and also it was a great time. Like,
And I mean, that night we went from a band that had played one show before to suddenly knowing all kinds of people in the scene, hanging out with, people in other bands after that show. Like it just really kind of pushed us into the Tucson music scene.
Made us start taking the whole like deal more seriously as well too.
Got it. It feels kind of like a video game, like leveling up. So I wanted to ask, how meaningful did it feel to win the competition, and how do you think it's like impacted your music career since?
Oh, it was awesome.
It still like blows my mind. I still don't believe it happened. And,
Yeah, I think it gave us like the confidence to kind of be like, okay, well, wow, if we're just starting out and we were able to win this competition and play at this big festival along like side big bands, then we actually can probably do something really cool with this. And it kind of got us on track to start recording our own songs, and just like be able to like know that what we thought in our heads was like pretty good, is actually like other people think it's good as well. Like they think listening to it.
Love it. You guys are also playing at the Dust Music Festival this year. So I wanted to ask, what song are you most excited to perform there?
Dr. Dirty.
Oh,
I'm pumped for No Fly Zone. We've got a bunch of we've got a bunch of really cool new stuff in the works.
Our whole repertoire has taken a whole 180 turn. Like from last year, we're basically playing one or two songs from the same like set as last year, if that. Yeah.
so way different.
Really different.
Yeah, I mean, we really had only been like seriously performing gigs for like a couple months when we played at Dusk the first time. And now we've like had a whole EP come out. We're working on a new EP now, so everything's kind of coming together. We're really excited.
Yeah. I wanted to ask too, do you prefer performing at local gigs, or do you like the vibe of a festival more?
I think that we like both of them for different reasons. With the like gigs that we put on ourselves, there's people that are there to see you. They're paying for a ticket to come and watch you, so you have like a more of a connection to the audience. A lot of like people who like to listen to our music have listened to it before. They know some of the words, they sing along and stuff. With the festival, it's different because it's not that same group of people, but it's cool because there's people just passing by, going to a festival that wouldn't most likely like pay to go or go out of their way to go see you at a venue in town. They're just, the only reason they're going to be exposed to you is because they're walking around a festival.
Yeah, kind of like picking up newcomers along the way, kind of thing.
Exactly. Like any festival that like anytime I go to a music festival or just like a public area with live music, like I learn about new artists that I wouldn't have found otherwise.
Yeah. Well, it's not a festival, but it's also a really cool event. You guys are doing First Friday, November 4th, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And it is in the big city. It's in Phoenix. What has your experience been like with playing at Phoenix venues, and how excited are you to perform for First Friday?
So we're really pumped. Brandon and I actually cut our teeth in the Phoenix scene back when we were in high school. Like we've played everywhere in Phoenix. We used to go to First Friday like every Friday night when we were in high school.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to be kind of getting back into that scene and going back to First Friday, playing First Friday. We had a show recently at the Nile Underground in Phoenix. It's just really exciting kind of getting back into that scene where Brandon and I started out.
Yeah.
It's been like 5 years since we've been a part of that, and it's cool. Kind of coming home, you know?
Like full circle.
Yep.
I think like as a band too, it's kind of like what we got to experience in Tucson when we were first starting, and now like it coming into the scene and meeting a lot of new people. And we've met like most every band that there's still new people we meet all the time in Tucson, but going into new places, like it's kind of that same feeling, like being in a new place and like showing your music. It's like we're starting over from scratch every time we go to a new place. So it's pretty cool.
First, love it. I also wanted to ask more of a fun question. Who are some music artists currently inspiring your musical endeavors right now? And is there anyone you'd love to like collaborate with in the future?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm really influenced by like a lot of punk bands and earlier independent bands pretty much all around. Not really like, yes, the music aspect, but then like the attitude of it, like all the deep yourself bands that kind of started up in the 80s and even back in the 60s. Like it's kind of the same idea that we do now. Like we set shows up, we figure it out, like make do with our own. A lot of times we're running our own sound at certain events. So it's kind of like who I look up to, bands like that.
I grew up on a lot of like classic rock, you know, those old school heavy hitter feel kind of drummers like John Bonham. So that's kind of what I've always shot for in my sound and the way I approach my drum parts.
Yeah, I pretty much like everything. Mostly like old, mostly just old music in general. Same kind of thing like as Alex, like classic stuff. But I also listen to a lot of newer stuff, and I kind of just like mix all of, so like older bands like Black Sabbath or like Led Zeppelin or like and all the kind of like traditional bands. And then nowadays, it's pretty much anything nowadays. I pretty much like, so yeah, it's just kind of everything.
I wouldn't be playing music if it weren't for the Grateful Dead. And Phil Lesh of the Grateful Dead is 100% my biggest inspiration, and closely followed by Trevor Weeks of Goose. They're an up-and-coming jam band. Awesome. And yeah, that's all I have to say. They're awesome. Great.
Awesome. Shout out to the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, Grateful Dead's incredible. I love it.
Yeah, I think like overall, all of us like just really like we connect with like the idea of like putting in hard work to make things happen for yourself, because any band really like that has put in a lot of work. And like you hear all the stories of bands who have been around and like gigging for like 5 to 10 years, even longer, before they actually got like any kind of like traditional like mainstream like traction. So that's kind of like something cool to look up to, like putting in work. And then for someone that we would want to like work with ourselves, like a collaboration, is we've for a while like been wanting to have like a guest rapper on one of our songs.
Oh, cool, yeah.
A special like a guest appearance.
Or also if DJs want to like remix our music, like that's always cool.
Yeah, always
I wanna make
open
some
for
music
that.
with a DJ for sure.
Yeah.
A symphony, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Symphony?
If there are any
For that.
rappers, symphonies, or
Choirs would be
Call
great.
them up. Call them up.
anything, pretty much anything that's like not traditionally a part of like rock music, we've like kind of been like wanting to experiment with.
Yeah, like make it more fresh.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool. This is the final question. What can fans of the Basements look forward to in the near future? And do you guys have any hints at new music that you would like to share with us?
Yes, so we just have been working on a new EP. We just came from a professional studio where we learned a lot. We recorded and did all of the work for our own production ourselves for our last EP. We recorded it here house. So we're going to be doing that again. And yeah, we're going to be recording the new EP coming out sometime in the near future. And then we're planning a West Coast tour in March.
Oh, cool.
So through Nevada and all around California and other parts of Arizona too.
Yeah. We're thinking like through Vegas, Tahoe, Chico, Sacramento, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, LA, San Diego, and then coming back to Tucson. Well, starting in Tucson and then hitting some few Phoenix places first.
You got it memorized already. I love it. Well, thanks so much for speaking with me today. I was saying nothing but positive energy your way, and happy almost Halloween. That's basically Halloween.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.